enthusiastic about learning, you know, which I think was a key thing. We've been working hard. Instead of ending on a high string, I would end like... Well, definitely on both records, I worked a lot with Johnny.
I worked more closely with Fred. Actually, he was the guy that was putting the tracks for me.
I felt he just skyrocketed every time I met him or saw him live or worked with him again. I just felt like he's just making enormous strides in his playing.
And I learned a lot from him. More so on Waking the Fallen. There was times when I just really didn't get what I was supposed to be doing or where exactly I was fitting in there, and he was helping me along that a lot.
Fred is the only guy that I like to do drum tracks with because he's super patient and he's a really cool guy. He's become a friend.
And then we get in the studio with Mudrock, and he just, you know, he kicked our ass in there. You know, we got in there and we're laying stuff down. We thought it was cool.
I wish I could tell you that was the one. Let's do it again. Okay, here we go.
He's like, oh, this part's boring. Oh, this part's, you know, this. We need to add something there. And we're just like, what? This is crazy. So every song we're just going over and doing it over and over and over and over.
You're not supposed to show this stuff. This is all very secret. Can't see that.
Can't see it.
During recording of Waking the Fallen, we did alter the arrangements a lot. I really beat them up a bit about the arrangements.
We realized later on that our songwriting, you know, had immensely improved because of Mudrock.
They taught us everything about how not to be bored when you need to spice something up, when you need to shorten something.
He's taught us a lot about producing in general and just the whole process of it. He's helped us a lot. He also taught me the importance of video games in the studio.
One-on-one with Death Saber. I want some one-on-one, dude. Who's the guy?
Yeah, this is what Avenged Sevenfold does.
Yeah. You beat me down?
Fucking $100 bill.
Yeah, you did.
We like to keep it nice and loose and fat, you know?
Hardcore like that.
Yeah, ready? Oh, yeah. That's how we do it. We don't just sit around playing video games all day, I swear. No, give me that $500 bill. Bitch, fuck you. I just got laid, too. Recording's crazy, dude. These fuckers play video games, but I do blow and get laid. So does Johnny. Sinister does too. He just got laid like 4 times. It's all about blow jobs. We just made a porno video fucking earlier.
We took everything that we learned from them and applied that to City of Evil.
It seemed like they really enjoyed that because by the second record there wasn't really much that we did. They really brought me the second record sounding very much like you hear it.
I would have friends like, oh, you worked with Avenged Sevenfold. Like, wow, they're really crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, on tour, they're just crazy. Like, well, they're on their best behavior. You know, I think that's like a sign to like how serious they take making records. Is they're in for how long, you know, the day is. If it's a 12-hour or a 10-hour day, they're in and they just work and they're really quick.
One thing I see a lot on the internet and I hear a lot about, and I just want to set the record straight on, is when I met the band after Sounding the Seventh Trumpet had come out and before they recorded Waking the Fallen, Matt handed me the CD and he said to me, this record's screaming. The record we want to make, which turned out to be Waking the Fallen, is going to be half screaming and half singing. He said, I don't want to scream anymore, but I'm going to make a record that's half screaming, half singing. And the record after that is going to be all singing. They already knew that they wanted to make a record that was all singing by the time City of Evil came out. And that was 2 years before that record came out. And all this bullshit about him not being able to scream anymore is just, it's just not true. It's what the band wanted to do as artists.
Yeah, we did a Warped Tour for 4 years. I was on for 3 of them.
Getting on Warped Tour the first few years was amazing. When we were playing the Kevin Lyman stage, we played in front of a total of probably 500 kids the whole tour.
We were so excited to do it, you know? We'd grown up going to Warped Tour, and we got there, and we were playing in front of, I mean, pretty much nobody, to be honest.
It was such a great tour for us. It got us in there. You know, we were playing the Warped Tour. It kind of legitimized us.
At the time, that was a dream come true, and I see bands to date doing the same thing, and I can see it in their eyes. It's a dream come true too.
Festivals, I mean, they're tough, but once you're done with the day, you just have fun. You're getting along with all these bands. All these bands are trying to do the same thing you are.
But it was still so much fun, you know? It was really hard being in a van and being on Warped Tour. We would drive 12 hours a night, load our stuff at 11 in the morning, play, start our drive again. There's a show in Colorado that year on that Warped Tour that they wouldn't even let us in the concert. So we're like, well, we gotta play. We're like, no, sorry, you don't have the right badges. And they finally let us in after we, were freaking out. We missed our time spot on our stage, so we had to play on a different stage. But it worked out good, actually. It was one of our better shows.
Second year we moved up to the next stage. We always just loved Warped Tour.
Getting to meet our idols on that tour, Rancid and NoFX and stuff like that. A lot of the punk legends from California.
So we're playing in front of 200 to 1,000 or more people every single day. And this was awesome, real stage, good sound system, meeting tons of people, and just overall having the respect of the whole Warped Tour staff and other bands.
For the headliner of Warped Tour, it's still a really hard tour because you still got to find a porta potty to use in the morning when you wake up.
Porta potty hunting, dude, with shotguns. Fucking blast of shit everywhere, dude. Fountains of shit.
Think about what kind of damage you could wreak on fucking Warped Tour.
You know what?
On Warped Tour, at about 10 o'clock in the morning, if you decided to push down one domino, all 500 of them that are lined up.
And it's always fucking 120 degrees out because the sun follows that tour for some reason.
Our fan base is like a fan base that every other band is jealous of, because they know that our fans stay with us through every record, just gets bigger and bigger. Our fans have Avenged tattoos, they're crazy, they're obsessed. They buy all the merch, they're at all the shows.
They support the changes. We're all about change. We don't want to be the same band, and that's really hard for a fan.
Kids were going out and helping us promote. Whether it was they tell their friends or people were making flyers for us and giving them out at their schools and other concerts, and we were like, this is amazing. People genuinely like what we're doing and they genuinely want to show it to the world.
First time we went to Ireland, they made Ireland flags with the death battle over in A7X. It's really cool, and they were waving them around when we came over there and played.
We just have crazy fans. They're very loyal, and we respect them for that, and we're just very lucky to have fans that are that crazy. And I don't know how it happened, but I think it has a lot to do with a lot of the stuff we did in the beginning with letting our fans be in videos, having the logos, and just making cool merch that they want to be involved in, going and doing signings, doing all this stuff. And so I think that's why we have such a crazy fan base, but we're very grateful for them.
There's a lot of fans out there that are into us being who we are, and they want to be a part of that.
The whole reason why our fan base grows outside is because of that core. Is so enthusiastic. People want to see, wow, like, what's going on here? They're all so loyal, and we really wouldn't be anything without them. They're really great.
Hey, one of the funniest things you could see is
a lot of money. You want some money?
The funniest things you could ever see is about.
Want some money? Do you want some money?
If you want to really see it.
Just so you know, Rev is immortal now.
I drank the blood last night. True.
Immortal.
Then it went to Ozfest. We kind of crossed over a little bit and didn't know how crazy and hardcore, they'd be. We heard crazy horror stories or whatever, but the Ozfest crowd was great, and we didn't really promote it. We were kind of the secret band on Ozfest.
So we're in front of absolutely nobody that would come to see us. We were kind of taken in different ways.
So we wanted to get out there and play in front of new people. And so basically, that was what Ozfest was to us, is get out there in front of new people and have to tough it out again. Have to be out there and not have a good crowd response and not, you know, not have kids that are just going ape shit.
A band like System of a Down and Disturbed are headlining, and we're not exactly with them in the same genre, the same fans.
We were playing in front of new crowds, and it was just a great experience. It was totally different. We bonded with the several different bands on Ozfest, several great bands.
One more shot.
One more, Donegan.
Shot for the road. One more shot. I know you're joking, but you're fucking now.
Oh my God.
Disturbed, who actually became really good friends with on that tour, as well as bands like Lacuna Coil and Hatebreed and Dragon Force.
I got to wake up at 4 every day if I wanted to and play at 6. It was like vacation.